What's up? So today is Monday, November 24th. I'll be trading the Nasdaq like I always do. I'm coming into the session with a bullish bias. So the reason I say that is I just feel like the way we're reacting right now is we're sweeping this low. If we're going to keep reacting off this low higher time frame, I could be bullish. And I feel like we at least want to rebalance maybe EQ this range, equilibrium this range, which I don't believe we've done yet. Yeah, equilibrium in this range would be like right above previous day high. So I could definitely see previous day high getting swept. So like I'm bullish until previous day high gets swept. Then from there, I want to see how we react once we hit previous day high for me to continue my bullish bias. But I'm only trading 3 days this week. I'm only trading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Because I mean, I don't trade bank holidays. And then honestly, I'm not trying to trade an early close day. I don't really like trading those, to be honest. So we're probably going to hit previous day high pretty quickly. Looks like we're just running right toward it. I'm trying to think, and yeah, I mean, I feel like EQ this range is probably going to get hit eventually. Yeah, so I mean, so we're probably going to hit previous day high. So at the point of us hitting previous day high, if let's say we hit previous day high or we hit equilibrium in this range and then we start reacting off that pretty cleanly, I might start looking for shorts because I mean, there are all these stacked lows down here I see, right? They're like all the way over here, all these stacked lows. So they don't necessarily need to get ran like right now or ran at all, but the way that I would say that I'm bullish though is let's say if we just rip through previous day high and we start opening up 5 and 15-minute gaps and they start getting respected, I would take continuation long. The only thing is I don't like taking longs. If let's say we swept out previous day high and we have a small pullback, I feel like taking a long off that is like a lot lower probability than taking a long as if we break through it, get a strong closure through it, and then we get a small pullback. Because right now we're just ripping right through it. Oh, and also one thing I forgot to mention my bullish bias. So there is an SMT down here at London session. So I mark out London session, right? This looks marked out weird. I probably marked it out on the higher time frame. Well, essentially though, all I'm trying to point out is London session, right? London session got swept out, right? Barely on NQ, but ES failed to sweep out London session. So that's an SMT we're delivering from. Is it an SMT inside the higher time frame gap? I actually forgot to check that. Oh, it's an SMT inside the new week opening gap. Okay. And we filled in almost all of the new week opening gap. So I could definitely see us continuing up. So I mean, at this point, honestly, I'm just waiting for either a 5 or a 15-minute fair value gap to open up. I'll wait for a retracement into that gap and then look for an inversion back out of that gap. So essentially a confirmation that gap's being respected. I see ES just took previous day high too. Yeah, we're just ripping up right now. So there's a chance we're probably going to open up a 5-minute gap here, I'd probably assume. The only thing about this gap is it's just so big. Like, it's possible that we could come into it, get a rejection out of it, and then resweep that low. You said, did that spike just happen? I mean, yeah, it's 9:30 market open for the stock exchange. So, I mean, usually open's pretty volatile. So I still have to wait like 3.5 minutes for this gap to open up. You know, we're not going to open up a 15-minute gap for a while. It honestly would be nice if we could pull back a little bit now, because at least this gap would open up a bit lower. So I could at least say if we tapped into it, we at least pulled back a little bit. Because if you think in terms of like premium and discount, right? Like equilibrium in this range, right? I mean, if I'm taking a pullback into this 5-minute gap, like we didn't even come anywhere close to equilibrium. We don't necessarily have to hit equilibrium, but I feel like when you're really far away from equilibrium taking continuations, they're just slightly lower rated. I'm trying to think for targets. So on the 1 hour, there's no really unfilled gaps. Because, like, let's say if this leg had multiple unfilled 1 hour gaps, I could say, like, if there was some unfilled 1 hour gap up here, that could be a good target. But I feel like this drop right here was just so aggressive. Just came straight down. I mean, there are these unfilled 15s up here, but I feel like they're not that significant. It's like an unfilled 1 hour or something. Maybe on the 30-minute. So I'm just marking these out because I feel like if we get close to them, it's definitely something I want to look at. So is that unfilled 30-minute maybe? That could be a target. So we have like 40 seconds till this gap was going to open up. So I feel like this is honestly, this 5-minute could be a good condition where honestly, if this 5-minute gets inverted, I'm probably just looking to see all these lows over here just get ran through. But if this 5-minute gap starts holding, I'll start looking for longs. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm leaning bullish bias. But for example, if this 5-minute gap were to get inverted, I would definitely start questioning my bullish bias. So I mean, we're pulling back into that 5-minute gap right now. Trading views being slow. There you go. Sorry, my trading view is just being very slow right now. I might try restarting it. I know it's not my internet because my Top Step X is working fine. I'll just show that while this is lagging. It literally says no data. Hello, trading view. Oh, there we go. So, I mean, we're reacting out of that 5 minute already. There's no really 1 minute gap here. There is this 30-second. But honestly, I would not be willing to take an inversion off this 30-second, even though it might play out for the sheer fact. Oh, wait, there's a 30-second in this leg. I'm just not trying to rip trades on the 30-second right now, to be honest. Oh, that 30-second I'm seeing right here could definitely play out. Like going break even at that internal high up there. I just don't like how there's like another 30-second gap right here, though. And like there's another 30-second gap up here. If I were to have taken that, though, I'd go break even now. I'd probably target either 1-to-1 or somewhere up there. You said you looking for shorts? Honestly, not really. I'm right now, I'm looking at this gap right here. I feel like if it keeps holding, I'll look for longs, but if it inverts, I'll look for shorts, to be honest. And New York says, do you trade gold? I do not trade gold. I only trade NQ. Honestly, this 30-second, I feel like I didn't have much time to think about it. It's honestly kind of decent. Well, no, I'd say it's like B+. It's a good way to put it. Because the structure here is not too clean, but I do like how it created that gap, immediately inverted it, and that candle looks really strong. I wonder if my 1-to-1. That would have pissed me off. It would have edged my 1-to-1 if I went for 1-to-1. He said, if you want to buy, let me know. I mean, I usually say when I enter. He said, can you help to pass Top Step? Can you give me tips? I mean, just find a strategy you know works, and just keep using that strategy and just execute it. Except, I mean, I feel like I could give you tips and all, like psychology tips, but I feel like the main thing that would help you the most would just be like just 100% guaranteeing the strategy you're trading actually makes money by doing testing, like by forward testing, demo trading, paper trading, back testing. And once you get confidence in your strategy, it's just kind of easy to pass the combine, to be honest. So I don't know if you remember before, I said we could get a resweep once we tapped into that 5 minute gap. Honestly, it's looking like we're going to do that. So I could see this resweep getting along off this, opening up this 1 minute gap right here. Cool, okay. You said, do you trade GC on Top Step to get fast pass? No, I mean, I trade the same way I normally do, but like if it's Top Steps, like combines or funded accounts. So I trade NQ when I try to pass the combine. Is there a 2 minute gap here? No, there's not. So honestly, if we invert this 1 minute gap up here, if we don't take the internal high, I'm going to try this long, to be honest. Because I just want to go break even when we take that internal high. And I would love this long a lot more if it could invert like this candle right now. Because I personally love when gaps form and just get them inverted immediately after. And also, to be completely honest, I feel like this setup would be higher rated if ES actually came down and swept out that 930 low. Because I kind of don't like we're putting ES at least is putting in equal lows right next to that 930 low. So I feel like that's an area that like might need to get swept before we continue higher. But I mean, if that 1 minute is gonna get inverted, I'm willing to try this still. Oh, I would just go for 1-to-1. Oh wait, I actually there's a tiny 2 minute here I missed, right? Yeah, actually, I missed that 2 minute. I feel like I want to wait for that 2 minute to get inverted, and I would just change my break even to that high. Honestly, yeah, that's a lot better. Because I usually look though for the highest time frame gap in this leg right here, kind of. So like, if you kind of zoom in, like, I mean, yeah, that is the most recent leg, but I don't like. I feel like we're probably gonna close here, and I might just get break evened. Eh, I'd have to see how it closes, to be honest. I'm going back and forth between the 1 and the 2 minute. Hmm. This 2 minute. So I mean, this candle's gonna close in 30 seconds. I mean, the thing is, this is also gonna be a 2 minute close. So I feel like if we close through this 2 minute gap, I'd still be willing to try this. I'm just thinking. I mean, I gotta see how this candle closes. Honestly, I'll try this 1 minute even. Why am I on ES? Back to NQ. So honestly, okay, I want to see us close through that 2 minute, to be honest. If we're gonna close that high. Okay, I'm gonna try this when this candle closes, definitely. Okay, I'm in there. So I'm gonna show my executions in 1 second. I just want to set my stop correctly. Cool, I did make my position size correct. So you guys should be able to see my executions. I'm gonna be going break even once we take out this internal high up here on ES or NQ, either or. And I will be going for just a 1-to-1 risk to reward, which is just like somewhere up here. So pretty much why I took this trade, right? We're trading inside a 5 minute gap. We tapped into the gap, swept out the low inside of the gap. So there's a liquidity sweep inside a 5 minute gap, right? So we're delivering from a gap and a liquidity sweep. We've now inverted the highest time frame gap in this leg, right? This 2 minute gap right here. We've inverted this 2 minute. So there's no gap pretty much. Like the highest time frame gap in this leg has been inverted essentially, right? Strong 2 minute candle closure. So honestly, I mean, even if this setup loses, I'm willing to take a loss on this. I mean, right now we're tapping into this order block right here. So hopefully this order block should reject us up. You said, how do you quickly calculate contract amount? I have a thing, like a contract position size calculator I use. I can send the link after. I don't know why. I feel like when things get close to my stop, I just like staring at them. So it's a weird habit I have. I feel like a lot of people do that. And I feel like in my mind, if I look away, I'm going to lose. I know there's absolutely no connection. So ES took out that 930 low I was talking about before that needed to get swept kind of. So hopefully we can like pull back up right now and I can barely stay in this trade. But not looking good. Now I'm cooked. Okay. So I'm willing to try one more trade on the day. So honestly, I feel like I might shift my my bias if we invert this 5 minute gap right here. But I mean, for right now, we're still holding it. I mean, and it's looking like we're probably not gonna open up this 15-minute gap, right? Probably not the way we're moving. I would love for us to open up this 2-minute right here. If we could open up this 2-minute and then invert that, that would be clean, honestly. You said NQ filled the new day opening gap. You said, who's that coming in here just to advertise? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. On Twitch, I feel like people just keep coming in here and they're like, you can pay for viewers, but like, why would I want to pay for viewers if they're not actually real people? You said, oh no, my bad, my trading views tripping. Yeah, there's still a little bit. It filled in like most of it. Oh, you said, are you New York says, are you trading on Top Step? Yeah, right now that was a Top Step. I have 350Ks. The thing is, I could like I'm looking at how to take a long here, and I feel like inversion fair value gap wise, it's kind of hard to get an entry right now, because like there's just this 1 minute right here, and like technically according to my rules, I'd have to go break even at the internal high, and like there's no shot I'm getting a close up here, going break even and not getting break even. I really wish there was a 2 minute gap I could take an inversion off of. Honestly, so we might open up this 15 minute. I definitely want to look at how we react if we come inside that 15 minute down there. I really wish there was like some 2 or 3 minute gap I could take an inverse off of here. Honestly, I'm not gonna take it, but I feel like this 1 minute inversion here, it didn't even invert. But if it does invert, I feel like this is gonna work. Honestly, even if we can get like a 30-second pullback and I can get a clean inversion on the 30-second, I would even take that. I hope we can open up this 30-second. Dude, come on, don't open up that 30-second. Microscopic 30-second right there. So let's see if we can close through this. So honestly, if this 30-second candle closes through this gap without taking the most recent internal high up here, I'd try this. I feel like I would target that high up here, let's say. So honestly, if we close to this gap, oh no, we're not close to that gap. So I guess there's no 1 minute here. There's no 2 minute. So we still didn't close through that gap. Honestly, I feel like at this point, if we are going to close through it, we're just going to take the internal high or be way too close to it. Honestly, though, if this candle can close through this gap without taking the internal high, I'd be willing to try this. Nah, that gap is holding. I hate how close ES is to the break-even point if I were to take this. Actually? Nah, it's not a good close. Never mind. Honestly, it's building all these stacked lows down here. I would love for it to run these stacked lows, to be honest. Because, like, if I were to take this inversion now, well, I can actually. Because ES just took the internal high I'd go break even at. But I also don't like taking trades when there's all these stacked lows at my stop loss. I mean, this setup definitely could play out. Don't get me wrong, but so in a minute, though, we're going to open up this unfilled 15-minute gap. Honestly, it would be really nice if we could come down to the 15-minute and react off that. So, I mean, 10 a.m. is going to happen in like 10 minutes. So I always mark out 10 a.m. open. I feel like 10 a.m. likes to manipulate the opposite way it wants to go. So that's 10 a.m. open. I like how we have equal highs right above 10 a.m. open. If we're able to leave that behind, that would be really nice. I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest, but yeah, those are not equal highs. I did not mark out 10 a.m. open correctly. That is 10 a.m. open. So I'm essentially waiting until either we come down and tap into this 15-minute gap right here, or if we create a new 5 or 15-minute gap up here, I'd use that as a condition and take a long off of that pretty much. I'm kind of surprised we didn't just shoot up to that high and take it out. Oh, okay, yeah, there's the high. So I'm always interested to see how we react, right? So if we just like keep going through this high, we have strong closes through this high. I mean, I'd be looking to take longs, but if we're gonna start immediately reacting off of it, it's not really that good of a sign. So maybe we could get like a 5-minute gap to open up here. I still have to wait like 7 minutes for that to happen, but honestly, I feel like that would be a good condition though, where like if we could come trade back into it, right, get a clear rejection out of it, look for longs. But if we're gonna close through that gap, I feel like I'd be short at least until this unfilled 15-minute gap down here. Honestly, I could see this session being one of those times where I had an idea, I just lost it. I'm sure it'll come back to me. Oh, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I feel like today's going to be one of those sessions where I was talking about 10 a.m. has a manipulation a lot of time, but I feel like today I could see we're just moving so bullish that 10 a.m. might not really manipulate anywhere. I could see that, to be honest. So I have to wait like 5 minutes for this gap to open, pretty much. This gap is definitely going to be a good condition because I could see if we come back into there, I could take a long out of there, definitely. While we're waiting for this 5 minute gap to form, just so you guys know, Alpha Futures just started their Thanksgiving sale. So if you use my code TIMB272, you get 25% off all evaluations. That goes until, I want to say it was the 30th. I was literally just looking at this. I should know this. Until the 30th, yeah. So we have like, what, 2.5 minutes till this gap's going to open up probably. I mean, hopefully we can open up this 5 minute, because the thing is, if we're not able to open up this 5 minute, and I can't really base a long out of this 5 minute gap, I have to wait until we come all the way down here to this 15 minute gap down here, and then I can take a long out of that. Because like I base all my trades off of 5 and 15 minute fair value gaps. Hmm. You said I don't see a sale on evals, still 79 with the new account code I was given. I mean, if you use my discount code, it gets you 25% off. If you just type in the discount code box. Honestly, what I'm thinking about, so this 5 minute, obviously this can be the condition, right? So even if we, honestly, if we close through this 5 minute, stop loss is crazy on that. I feel like I'd be willing to take a short, I'm sorry, if we close through this 5 minute, just to rebalance this on fill 15. So we tapped into that though. There's no 2 minute, 3 minute, there's no 30 second. So honestly, even if I wanted to take a long off of us tapping into this gap, I really couldn't, because there's no fair value gap I could really take an inverse off of currently. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like if this 5 minute were to invert, honestly, I feel like I could see this running. Because like there's the unfilled 15 minute gap right here, which is a great break even point, but there's like equal lows right at 9:30 I was looking at. Honestly, I think I'm looking to take a short off this 5 minute gap if it inverts. To be honest. To be honest. I don't even know if I'll get a good close though. 'Cause hopefully we don't just start dumping. Honestly, for a second, I was thinking about like, I could set a limit order at 1 to 1, but like honestly, if we're gonna close this 5 minute, I could just see us ripping down, to be honest. Yeah, we're delivering from equilibrium, this range pretty much, respecting this 15-minute fair value gap. So I hope I'm able to get a good close in this, to be honest. And I mean, I'd go break even at that 1 minute, but I feel like these equal lows are a really good target. The only thing is, though, if I can't take this short, if we tap into this 15-minute gap down here before I get my entry, I mean, it's pulling back a little bit. It's being nice. Oh, what was that? Yeah, and honestly, even if I want to take a long, though, I still can't take a long because there's just no gap for me to take an inverse off of. Like this 5 minute gap though is like a great condition. Honestly, I guess the 5 minute gap's holding. There's this 30-second right here. Honestly, I think I want to try this. I'm in there, honestly, because I like the reaction we had off that 30-second. I know I was going back and forth with my bias, but like I feel like we're really coming strong out of that 30-second. I'll show my executions. I kind of entered a little bit late. You can see my entry's not the best. I'm like 5 points higher than I should be, but I feel like I want to go break even at that internal high up here. Yeah, I mean, neither NQ or ES hit the internal high yet, so. Okay, yeah, we hit the internal high, so I want to go break even there. I'm hoping we can just flush straight up and hit these highs up here. It's pretty much what I need. Hopefully we can just push up. I mean, oh, yeah, bro, ES is moving a lot stronger than Q right now. Because it's looking like, I gotta zoom out to double check this. I think ES took that high. ES is getting really close to that high. I'm still, just because I feel like we're moving in bullish order flow currently, I'd be willing to target that high up there and just not go for 1 to 1. I want to finish the day up a little bit too, because I lost that earlier trade. Because I feel like if we're gonna hit 1 to 1, I feel like we're just gonna hit that high up there, to be honest. So hopefully we can get a push up now, right? Because there's this 30-second gap we're tapping into. That is not what I want to see. Okay, yeah, I gotta stop the break even there. Bro, you cannot tell me. Don't tell me that's gonna happen. Don't tell me. I don't want to see that thing fly up. Dude, and on top of that, I got my bad entry. I should have put my stop loss to where it would have been if the candle closed. It's whatever. Dude, this is I hope it doesn't do it to me. But so I mean I'm still bullish, right? If I get another good opportunity, I'll still take it. I'll take like one more trade on the day because that was a break even. Dude, I feel like this thing's gonna play out. I don't know why it's gonna make me feel so much better if it can come a little lower. So I would have gotten stopped at break even regardless. Honestly, I'm just leaving Top Step up because I really wanna. I just want to leave it here just to see. Because honestly, I feel like if it runs to my TP, I definitely want to clip that. To be honest. Because like, what did it stop me out at? Right, this is 1175. Oh well, I guess it's not that bad of a stop raid, but okay, yeah, I'm okay with that break even. I think. I mean, not like it would matter either way. Because my entry though, my entry should have. I kind of got in a little late. My entry should have been there. So I mean, technically, I guess technically my break even wouldn't have gotten hit yet if I had a perfect entry. Okay. That 5 minute gap though is definitely holding. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I would have gotten south at break even regardless. So honestly, I said this 5 minutes holding. I might be a liar. This 5 minutes, if this candle closes a little more bearish, nah. But all I was trying to say is see like this 5 minute gap right here. I feel like before it was holding and this candle just started flying down. But um, this is tricky to be honest. I definitely want to see how this next 5 minute candle closes though. To be honest, I feel like that would clear things up for me. So I'll move back to trading view. So I mean, once we start moving bullish, hopefully we can leave behind all these stacked highs, right? That would be a good target. Yeah, but the thing is though, if we're gonna invert this 5 minute, there's an SMT at the high. I'm pretty sure. Did I misspeak? Maybe like internally. No, we never actually swept the high, so there's not an SMT. I feel like we're honestly just kind of chopping around up here right now. Because I feel like that setup I just got break evened on. I feel like it should have just ran if we were gonna be truly like really bullish. Like we could still be bullish and all, but I'm just checking out of curiosity. I wonder if it would have hit my 1-to-1. Yeah, barely. It hit my 1-to-1. Not with my entry though, probably, but we still have 2.5 minutes till this next 5-minute candle close. I mean, I'm still watching. If we're gonna shoot down like last second and close through this 5-minute gap, I feel like I'd be willing to try a short of that. So I want to say this 5 minutes holding. I want to say. And there's really no opportunity for a long here, to be honest. So me personally, I would love to see this candle like just dump a little more, right? Next candle, dump all the way through this 5-minute gap and close through it. And I want to try to short out that, to be honest. Ooh. I mean, I'm only confident in that short though if we're gonna close through this 5-minute. Oh, we have 20 seconds left. I want this thing to dump in the next 20 seconds. So I mean, if we close through this 5-minute gap, I'll take a short, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Yeah, we did not close through that 5-minute. Oh. So I mean, I feel like next candle could do it, but I'm hoping next candle gives me an acceptable close because I don't want it to close like all the way down here. Maybe. I mean, that's a little excessive, but like I could see it closing all the way down here and killing my risk reward. One thing I do like about the setup though, I feel like even if it kills my risk reward, I feel like there's these equal lows. If I need to target past the equal lows, there's all these stacked lows, slow resistance liquidity. And there's still this little small portion of the new week opening gap that hasn't been filled yet. Very small. Hmm. There is this 1 minute. That 1 minute probably means nothing. I don't know. I just want to see. I'm just waiting to see if we get any strong like V-shaped recovery. Thank you for the follow, Etho the Gamer. But I feel like if we get a really strong reaction and invert this gap really quickly and strongly, I feel like that might be willing, like a long I'd be willing to try. Maybe we're finally respecting this 5 minute gap, finally. But the only thing is, I want to go break even at this high it's running toward right now. I just want to double check, right? So there's no 2 minute gap, right? This is the highest time frame gap in this leg right here, pretty much. Honestly, if we close through this 1 minute gap, I'm willing to try a long. Yeah, I definitely am. I like the reaction we're getting right now. Okay, so I'm in there. I'll show my executions in 1 second. I just want to set my like stop and take profit and everything. But I'm probably gonna end up going break even pretty quick, I feel like. So here's my executions. So I'm break even already. That was mad quick. So I'm hoping that we can just flush through these highs up here, right? Because there's all these stacked highs. I'm hoping to get a run through them. And hopefully after that, right, once we run this high, we can go to that high up there. It's all dependent on how bullish we are, though. I mean, there's a chance we might be not moving that bullish. But I'm pretty much just going for a 1-to-1 here. I might get break even. It's whatever if I do. Okay, yeah, whatever. I feel like it was worth a shot. And I know I go break even pretty quick, but I feel like overall it works for me. Because there's definitely days where I get like really good break even points. We just run right through it. Oh, my chat froze. I gotta fix that. So I mean, at this point, I've still only taken like one loss because I guess that's two break evens now. One loss, right? So I'd be willing to take like one more trade because I usually stop at two losses. But you can see though, good break even there, right? Like we got a good reaction up, but it's like what I feel like we took out these highs and we're reacting very strongly off them. And like I feel like I know it's taking forever to invert, but honestly, if this 5 minute gap gets inverted, I really want to try a short off that. Like, so the main reasoning though, if we're gonna invert this 5 minute up here, like once we've inverted this 5 minute, we should rebalance to this unfilled 15 minute. Thank you for the follow, B2029 bunch of numbers. But so if we invert this 5 minute gap right here, in theory, we should come down to this unfilled 15 because that would be the next thing that would deliver us up. But we're just chopping. This is just choppy price action. Oh, thank you for the follow. Muff will do it. But yeah, this is just chop. I'd really love to see, like, I feel like for me to take a long, the conditions I'd want to see is I'd want to see this break above this high, like open up a clear 5 or 15 minute gap, have a pullback into there, and get a clear reaction out of it. Because like right now, I mean, we're just chopping around. So I mean, there is like an SMT at the high. Is there? There's like equal highs. This is just straight chop. Now there's an SMT at the highs. So maybe now I could see us pulling back, maybe. Because like ES took out that high, but NQ wasn't strong enough yet to do it. So I guess NQ is getting some momentum, maybe. I feel like right now, like, I still can't trade this until we get some more clear structure. So what strategy do you use to set up the market? I mean, the strategy I use, I just trade inversion fair value gaps. So like I wait for, like, for example, like there's this 15-minute gap between these two candles, right? These two 15-minute candles. I'm sorry, 5 minute. So if we were to close through that, that would make it like an inversion fair value gap, and I enter off that. So NQ finally took out that high. So hopefully we can open up like a 5 or a 15-minute gap right here. So I could use that as a condition to base a trade off of. You said, are you live every morning? I mean, most mornings, like this week, like Thanksgiving's Thursday. I won't be live Thanksgiving. And the market closes early Friday, so I figure I'll just take Friday off. But I mean, typically Monday through Friday for New York AM session, I'm live. Yeah. I feel like we're just not getting follow through, like to the upside, really. I feel like it's struggling to push up. Hmm. Yeah, so I feel like in this case, if we're gonna react off this high, I mean this is all conditional, right? So let's say we start reacting off this high, and then we invert this gap, like this 5 minute gap right here. Even though it's taking forever to invert this gap and the stop loss is crazy, I feel like I might consider that short still. Now we're not reacting that high, I don't think though. Ooh, so we're actually getting a good push up. And the only annoying thing is, I feel like for me to base a trade off of this 5 minute gap right here, we'd have to come all the way down here and either NQ or ES, so we have to sweep out this internal low. Because otherwise, I'm waiting for a 5 minute gap or a 15 minute gap to open up, like up here, let's say. And I could base a trade off of that. So we have like, what, 4 minutes till potentially this gap right here could open up. I'd definitely be willing to base a long trade off of that. So honestly, this 5 minute gap might open up, which would be good for me. So we have like a minute and a half till this 5 minute gap over here is gonna open up. And yeah, this one I know before I kept talking about like if this 5 minute gap here gets inverted, I would take a short to this unfilled 15 down here. But to be honest, if we're gonna move all the way up here, like we're not gonna hit this. I can't be bearish anyway, to be honest. Like I have to be bullish right now. So this 5 minute gap's gonna open up like in 15 seconds. So I want to see a pullback into that gap. Are those equal highs up there? Oh my god. I'm gonna be drooling over this. If we can pull back to this 5 minute with leaving behind these equal highs, I'm gonna be drooling over this setup. Leave behind the equal highs. I would love if we could just pull back to this 5 minute, give me a clear inversion. That's what I want. You said, are you long on ES? N- I'm not. I'm not too sure why you're asking that, but I mean, I only trade NQ too. And right now, I'm still waiting for a pullback to this 5 minute gap. And I want to see if we can get like a lower time frame reaction out of that. I take a long off that on an NQ. I feel like price action has been the cleanest today. I mean, I'm hoping we can get a pullback. I mean, I really want to see like a V shape down where we just kind of come down here, tap into this gap, and just react right off of it. But we're just chopping around over here. I feel like this could be like a good like AMD setup, right? Where like we have this accumulation zone right here, and then we manipulate down into this 5 minute gap, and then we distribute up higher. So ideally, I would love to see it keep coming down, right? Tap in that 5 minute, open up this 1 minute. It's a little lower. I mean, ES is in a gap now too. But, oh, I really, oh, so we're not opening up that 30-second. I'm sorry, the 1 minute. There's this 30-second. This 30 seconds not the cleanest though. For the sheer fact, I feel like I put my stop loss right in an unfilled 5-minute gap. Well, like, yes, ES is in a 5-minute gap. I just don't like putting my stop losses at unfilled 5-minute gaps. So like I'm gonna pass up on this trade, honestly, if it presents itself. I have to pass up on this. If we could come a little lower, sweep out this low, I could take this. I don't even know why I'm marking out. I can't take this. But I just want to double check, right? I mean, we're not tapping into a 15-minute gap, no. There's no 5-minute gap there, no. I can't take that. So we didn't even close through that gap. I feel like the break-even point of this is really good, but it's just we're not delivering from anything really. Like, yeah, I mean, there's this order block, but I don't base my trades. I only base my trades off 5 and 15-minute fair value gaps. So I would want to see it come a little lower, right? Tap into that gap. It's a little lower in Nasdaq. I need 777. I need like 10 points lower. Cool. We tapped into that. So I can definitely look for longs now. And I will be looking for longs right now. So I mean, first thing I'm looking at is if we're going to open up a 30-second right here. Which I honestly have a feeling we might not. I hope I'm wrong. Because the thing I like about this, we have a good break-even point on this, and there's all these stacked highs up here. We might open up a 1 minute. Well, I gotta see. I mean, if this 30 seconds gonna invert next candle, I gotta change my stop size though. 28 points. That would mean I take 8 contracts to risk 500. If we close through this 30-second, I'm taking this. We did not close through it yet. If we're able to close through this 30-second though without taking this internal high up here, because that's gonna be the break-even point, and if it takes the break-even, I can't take it. But yeah, if in the next 19 seconds this closes through it, I'm taking this. I just hope it doesn't hit my break-even point before then. So it's pulling back. I just want to double check, right? There's no 1 minute gap here. No, it's the highest time frame. So shitty close, but I'm trying it. I could be in for one more contract. Cool. Target those highs up there. That's the break-even point. Cool, cool, cool. I'll show my executions. So this is definitely the last trade of the day. So not the reaction I want to see, honestly, but Very interesting day, to be honest. Price action sucks. If this stops me out, price action sucks. I know I can't blame price action, but like, so hopefully we come back up. He said, "Are you looking for shorts?" No, I'm looking for longs. As my message down here says. So we got that retracement though. So I'm hoping this 5 minute gap holds. Oh, I should. Nah, that's cool. Nah, that's not looking too good, to be honest. I might get stopped out again. Unless it wants to maybe sweep out this low and react off that, but honestly though, both the setups I took today, I kind of like them. I mean, I know they didn't win and all, but like rules wise, my system wise, they were good setups. So I want a strong close in this candle because if this thing comes back down and leaves a big wick up the top, I'm probably cooked. Yeah, it's not a good close. And honestly, so like this might be emotional or like just stupid, but I'm just going for a little bit over 1 to 1. So I want to finish the day green because I'm down like 520. So if I hit 530, I'd be a little green just because I have issues. And I like seeing that P&L calendar with all green. I hope I don't regret that decision, but I'm just double checking to make sure there's not an S&T at the high, which there's not, because I would go break even if ES took that high, but ES is still yet to take that high. And hopefully, though, for me to hit this trade, really, I would love for once we take this high, we keep coming up, right? And we should just run through all these stacked highs up here, right? Because like there's this high, this high, this high. It's basically like low resistance liquidity. So I'm kind of preparing to go break even here. We haven't hit it just yet. Break even there. So hopefully, I just want to flush straight up. Because if we just keep chopping, we're gonna break even. I mean, but hopefully we can just keep running all these highs up here. Right, okay, this candle can wick down, but I want to see it close strong up, right? I honestly like the close in that candle. So hopefully we can continue strong. Yeah. It's not looking like a strong follow through just right now, but ooh, maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah, that's what I want. I want to see these highs get ran through, like just flying straight up. Second trade of the day. Took one win, one loss. I'm up $4 today. So basically a break even day. I was bullish on the day. The first trade that I tried, we were delivering from like a 5-minute gap right around here, right? I took this like 30-second inversion pretty much down here. I got stopped out on that one actually. No, it wasn't. You know, I'm getting myself confused here. You know, I'm going to edit this video. I messed up my video for in my Instagram story. There's chat. W day. I don't know. Where was that 30-second I lost on? I feel like sometimes... Oh, that was the 30-second I lost on. You know, honestly, I'm going to edit that video and put it together. Wait. So I tried taking this 30-second gap right here. I got stopped out on that one, and then I tried taking another long opportunity later in the day where I saw like this 1-minute fair value gap. I took that, sold at these highs. There's chat. Did on live stream as always. W day. I'm gonna act like I didn't just mess that up. But so I need to go over those two trades and the reasoning behind them and the reasoning behind my bias and everything, right? So you guys, yeah, you can see TradingView. Cool, cool, cool. So I'm just clear all my drawings, right? So what did I see when I first sat down with these charts for market open, right? What I saw was, let me mark out where market open is. 9:30 market open, right? So this is market open right here. So essentially, I was bullish. Like when I first came down here and sat down, I said I'm bullish, right? Because we swept out on the daily, right? Starting top down. We swept out this low right here, and we were reacting very strongly off of it at the time. So like, if we're going to react off that low, I could see us being bullish. On the 4-hour, right, we have this huge range that at the time at market open, we left previous day high was right next to equilibrium. So we never really rebalanced equilibrium at this price leg right here. So in theory, even if we're going to continue bearish, we really should rebalance equilibrium, right? So I said I'm easily bullish until we hit equilibrium, previous day high. It's an easy target. So coming into market open, we pretty much just like ripped up and took previous day high really quickly. I'll just mark out previous day high. So like, right, this is 9:30 market open. We're ripping straight up to previous day high. And we hit equilibrium, which is right up here. So at that point, I was saying it's very conditional, right? So once we sweep out previous day high, how are we reacting off of that? So like, let's say if we swept it on NQ or ES and we offered a very clear reaction off of it, I would start looking for bearish trades. But we didn't really do that, right? We came through it. We closed really far through it. Even on the 5-minute chart, right? A 5-minute candle closes so strong through this. We put in this fair value gap, and we actually even come down to retest previous day high, right? So not only have we closed through it, we've retested it, and we're getting a reaction off of it. So at this point, I mean, I was looking, don't get me wrong, there was a point in time where I was saying, if this 5-minute gap right here gets inverted, we are going to rebalance to this unfilled 15-minute gap down here. That's just kind of the way I view the market works, right? Like, if we're going to invert this 5-minute, for us to continue higher, we have to rebalance to the unfilled 15-minute based on my view of the market. But since I didn't really get any clear reactions right above previous day high, I said, you know what? We're just going to keep continuing up. I have to keep looking for longs. So the first long opportunity I tried to look at my executions to remind myself. I took a bunch of trades today. But the first trade that I tried was at 9:47. Yeah, so we were coming back into this 5-minute. So I saw the strong close through previous day high. We open up this gap. We're coming down, retesting it, getting a reaction off of it, right? So I want to say it was a 30-second. It was either a 30-second or a 1-minute. I got to see this. Was it this 30-second or was it a 1-minute? Oh, I guess it was this 1-minute. 47. Yeah, I took a 1-minute. Yeah, because the 1-minute right here was the highest time frame in this leg. Because there wasn't a 2-minute, was there? No, I'm bugging. Okay. Wow, I like forgot what this first trade was. I took an inversion of this 2 minute. That's what I'm talking about. So I took an inversion of this 2 minute, put my stop loss down at this low right here. Just went for a 1-to-1. So then I ended up getting stopped out. So my bias was right? Like this is pretty much a stop raid. We inverted the highest time frame gap after we tapped into that 5 minute, right? So at that point, we should deliver upwards. We did deliver upwards, but it's not the way I wanted us to, right? So all that mess, right? We came up, retested previous day high. I was considering that 5 minute, but I never actually took it because we never inverted it. Up here, I was waiting for this 5 minute gap to get traded back into. Oh, and also real quick, while I have the topic in my mind, one thing I forgot to mention about the 2 minute inverse I took was the thing going against me. Like I like to think, like I know you can't be perfect, have a 100% win rate, but I like to analyze trades that like lost, and I think like what was going against me here? Is there anything obvious I should have realized? And in this case, once we closed through this 2 minute, right? My stop loss was here. If you look at ES at the same time, right? ES at the point I entered this trade, never took out this 930 low. So 930 lows and highs, like on the 1 minute chart, the wick left behind by that 930 candle, very strong draws, right? So we're edging this 930 low. I actually said it. I literally said it when I took this setup. I said that it's possible that ES might need to come down and sweep out this 930 low, and it would be higher rated if that happened. And I did know that, but I just like the reaction here. I feel like we had a very clean reaction, and I said, you know what? Maybe we're just moving too bullish to actually sweep that 930 low. But in hindsight, maybe it's something I should have kept in mind. I mean, it's something I'll review. I'll journal it, keep it in mind, right? But so this last trade that I took that actually ended up winning, the one that's probably most important, right? So, well, I mean, there was one more break even I took, I think. I did take there's one more break even I took. Where was it? Like 1027. Yeah, I took some long in here because essentially we never we came down into this 5 minute, and I'm pretty sure I got break even on something else in here, but essentially we never actually took this high up here that we were delivering from the 5 minute. So like in my mind, this 5 minute, like it's doing its job until we take out this 5 minute internal high. So since we still hadn't done that, I saw that we had this 30-second right here, and then we inverted it. So once we closed through that 30-second, I took a long one. I'm pretty sure I got break evened. No, that was a long. No, I'm looking in the wrong place. I feel like I'm a mess right now. This 30-second I got break even on was right here, 1027. Yeah, so I mean, I loved very strong candle, right? But I didn't like there were all these stacked lows at the stop. But that was a break even. Then essentially, yes, so the main trade I took, right, it was a 30-second, right? Yeah, it was 30-second. Okay. So we closed through this 30-second. We pretty much opened it, closed through it next candle. Those are my favorite type of trades. I think my entry wasn't the best, but I got a little bit over 1-to-1 on this trade. Oh, no, I risked like 480 to make 520. That's why. That was yeah, okay. But, so yeah, I mean, that was the trade I took. But the thing is, though, there's all these stacked highs up here. You said, did you see Top Step new prices for no activation fees? Angel said. I did not. I didn't even know they dropped that yet. I know people have been talking about it for forever, but I didn't know that it actually dropped. I'll look into that in like 5 seconds. But essentially, though, so this 30-second I took, right? There are all these stacked highs up here. I feel like they should get ran. We're in bullish order flow, delivering from a 5-minute gap. We inverted like this 30-second, which is the highest time frame in this leg. It allowed me to go break even at this internal high right here. And from here, the internal high, we should just deliver straight up. And I mean, yeah, I definitely could have gotten a lot more out of this trade, but I just wanted to take the low-hanging fruit, which is like right above that high. You said it just came out right now? I need to look into this right now. But while I'm looking into this, does anyone have any questions on any of the trades that I just took? So Top Step's new prices. Oh, it's standard. They lowered the activation fee to $129, and it looks like there's the no activation fee, which the 50K is $89 a month. The 100K is $139, and the 150K is $189. Dude, $189 all in for the 150K? The activation fee used to be $150. You're telling me I can pay like an extra $40 and get it 150K all in? That's crazy. So I guess, yeah, no one probably has any questions, but if you want, I guess, I'm trying to think now. Oh, yeah, so if you guys want to check out Alpha Futures, definitely check out Alpha Futures. But that's the thing with Top Sec for the 50K is $89 all in. But the Alpha Futures Zero plan, if it's normally 99, but they do have a 25% off discount going on in Alpha Futures for Thanksgiving. So until the 30th, it's 25% off, which makes the Zero plan $75 all in pretty much. So definitely check out Alpha Futures, and I have my free Discord in that pinned comment. But I do appreciate everyone stopping by today. I'll be live Tuesday and Wednesday, same time, 9:30. So definitely come back. But I appreciate everyone stopping by. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.